Paul Silber was a good friend of mine and a huge blessing to Trinity Oaks.
Japanese Marines were holding Zigzag Pass in the Philippines during World War II. It was predicted that it could never be taken. This is where Lieutenant Paul Silber would find himself at just 20 years old. Unable to dodge the showers of explosions, he was critically wounded by a mortar shell. His courage and bravery would be awarded with the Bronze Star, Purple Heart, and Combat Infantry Badge. Though thousands of service men and women would not make it home, Lieutenant Silber would survive his injuries and return to his home in the United States and live the remainder of his life as an American hero. He would set an example for fellow veterans that life after disabling wounds can be meaningful, productive, and rewarding.
The Lieutenant Paul Silber Award is near and dear to my heart because Mr. Silber was a dear friend of mine. He was a huge blessing in my life, but also to Trinity Oaks, the organization. We wouldn't have the Lieutenant Paul Silber Thumbtack Ranch if it wasn't for his generosity and his philanthropy. Because of that and the impact he had on Trinity Oaks as a whole and me personally, we decided to honor him by creating an award in his name. We were very fortunate. Our first winner was Greg Stubbe, Purple Heart veteran that was hurt in the Kandahar province in Afghanistan. Whenever we get an application in and we narrowed it down to some finalists, we actually bring Greg into the picture and he helps us choose the final candidate.
When it rolled around applications being submitted this year, I knew Michael Jernigan was going to be the one that he definitely needed to look at.
My name is Michael Jernigan. I'm a United States Marine that was wounded by a roadside bomb on August 22, 2004 in Mamadi, Iraq. I was in the bed of a pickup-style Humvee that got hit by two 155mm artillery shells. I was thrown 20 meters out of the vehicle, and I had 45% of my cranium crushed in. This whole piece of my forehead is an acrylic plate. I had shrapnel enter my right eye, exit here through my left eye, eviscerated everything in between. I had a hard go of it coming home. I did 30 major surgeries. I flatlined during 3 of them. I had 22 pints of blood transfused into me, and I spent 16 months in a hospital and rehab facility before I could get medically retired from the Marine Corps.
When he saw the application for Mr. Jernigan, he was like, hands down, he's amazing and he needs to be honored with the Lieutenant Paul Silber Award.
That's a high honor. These are guys that have been wounded or battling mentally, but still doing their best to give back to their communities. And Michael Jernigan's a perfect example of that.
Receiving the Lieutenant Paul Silber Award is quite an honor. I remember what it was like to lay in a hospital bed in Bethesda, Maryland at a Navy hospital, not knowing what my future held, not knowing if I was going to be able to live on my own, not knowing if somebody was going to have to take care of me, not knowing what my future was at all. I had a mentor, John Fales, a Marine that went blind in Vietnam, that took me under his wing and really showed me that there is success after blindness. And because of John, I wound up going back to college. Because of John, I wound up going back to work and becoming a productive member of my community again. He really taught me what it means to give back to others. He taught me that the oath I gave when I joined the Marine Corps wasn't just for a time period, that it was for life. And that if I truly loved my country and loved my Corps, I would continue to give back to my country and my Corps. And that has been my guiding light since August 22nd of 2004 when I went blind.
When I reviewed the videos and saw the application for Mr. Jernigan, was the statement that once he lost his sight, he got his vision, that sight has nothing to do with vision. And that really stood out, and also stood out to Greg Stubbe. That was something that we could have heard Mr. Silber say.
As a result, I've been able to work with a lot of different organizations. I've been able to impact others' lives, not just veterans, but also civilians. And I am grateful for that opportunity. I am grateful for this award, but I'm truly grateful for the opportunity to make a difference in somebody else's life. I was given a second chance when I lived on the battlefield. And I am not going to squander my second chance, and I'm going to continue to give back to others.